Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of the One Bedroom series, and of course we are now at number 17. So if you missed the first 16, then you need to go back and watch those. Links in the description below. Alright, so we have moved over into the next phase of this project, and so this video will be that first video of detailing where we will start to add dimensions and text and annotations and stuff like that. So I hope you have the time, so stick around. I think you will learn a lot. So yeah, let's jump into it. Zane? Alright, so what we're going to do is to add window tags and door tags to this drawing. So far you can see that I have added some dimensions, and of course I know you know how to do this already. If you have watched my one-click dimensions video, we got all of these dimensions with just a couple clicks, so these are like easy pickings now. And we added some room tags. As you can see, these were taken from the spaces that we had done in the project from earlier on. Of course I did turn that layer off, so let me show you what I'm talking about. So if I turn this on, you remember that space looking thing? That's where these tags come from. All right, so you definitely want to tag wrong one. Yeah, definitely want to tag your spaces with the names of the rooms, and then turn it off. So of course we can move these anywhere we want. And then we're going to just add some tags to these windows and the doors, and also create a schedule for these. If you notice, we're not seeing 3 of our windows, and if you have been following the episodes coming up, you would know how to fix this by clicking on that little guy down here and raising the cut plane from 3 to 4 feet 6 inches so that we can see those windows. All right, good. So now we can go ahead and tag. We're going to start with doors, so let's go over to annotate, and we're going to click on door tag. So this is the room tag tool that I use to tag the rooms, so of course you can go ahead and do that. We're going to do some door tags now. So once you click on it, all you need to do is to select the door that you want to tag. So we're going to do the first door here, and it gives you a little graphic there to illustrate what it would look like. You're going to place it where you want it now, so I'm going to place it like right here, and then it brings this dialog box up where we can enter information about this door. So we can enter like framing material, glazing, head detail, blah blah blah. Remove that. I did enter that earlier, but I don't want it there anymore. All right, so these are things you can enter into the door. So this would be door 1. Hit OK, and it leaves the tag there. We're going to do the second door, which would be this one. We're going to hit, again, it brings it up. Remove that. Hit OK. So we have door number 2, and this would be door number 3. Of course, you can enter your numbers manually by clicking here and just typing in the number, and that would be reflected outside. We're going to hit OK. Alright guys, so that's all the doors we have. Now bear in mind that if we have 2 or more doors that are the same exact size, style, then you would want to give those 2 doors or 3 doors the same number. Okay, so if this door and this door were the same, then they both would be saying 0, 1. Alright, but because this is an exterior door, this is an interior door, they are 2 different doors, even though they are the same size. All right, so 2 different doors, you have to give them 2 different numbers. All right, this one is obviously smaller, so that would definitely need us to add a different number. And the same thing applies when we move to windows. These 4 windows at the front of the building are the exact same size, same style, same material, same everything. So we want to make sure that all of these windows have the same number. Likewise with the 2 kitchen windows, these are the same, so we're gonna give those the same number. This window is obviously different, so that's gonna have its own number. So let's click on window tag. I'm gonna do like this, boom, click on that, and we're gonna drop the tag somewhere where there's a little bit of space. I'm gonna drop it right there. So that would be number 1, and I'm not gonna add anything in there. I'm just gonna leave it blank for now. I'm not going to be adding anything in that. You can go ahead and add these information. The good thing is when you add stuff in here, you can pull these out in a schedule. All right, that is what this is for. So of course, if you're doing like a commercial building and you need to put in fireproof rating and that kind of stuff, you're going to need to enter those information into the door or the window. All right, so this would be a window one, of course. Again, this would also be another window one. Good. And this would be a normal one as well. Now, if you see the number changing, guys, just click in there and type in the right number. All right. This one should be a 2. Good. This one should be a 2 as well. Awesome. And this one should be a 3. Beautiful. So now we have all of our window tags and door tags added. And guess what? The floor plan is basically done. I don't need anything else for the floor plan. It's all done, guys. Just kind of neat this up a little bit more. And see, this is kind of touching the building. I don't like that, so I'm going to click on this where I can edit that. Good. All right, nice. So that's how the floor plan would look. And then we're going to, what if I can pull this out some more? Let me see. All right, beautiful. Nice. All right. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create some schedule. So go to door schedule, which is one we're going to do first. Door schedule, click on that. And it says here, select the objects or enter to schedule external drawing. So of course, we know that this is an external drawing because it's an X reference. So we're going to hit enter. And then it says now place your schedule. So you need to click your first corner and your second corner. And if you notice, here is our schedule. I like to scale it to 50. Let's move it over a little bit. All right. So we can actually go in and remove some of these that we're seeing here. Honestly, I've never used half of this stuff in here. So we definitely can remove some of these. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing that in this video, but so here we have the schedule. Nothing is in there because we need to add the drawing that we want to pop up in the schedule. So we're going to hit add, and then we're going to select the drawing that we want. So this would be that drawing, and we're going to hit enter. And then now we can see our doors popping up. We have the mark, which is 1, 2, 3, width, height, thickness. If we had placed the material in there, it would be there. If we had entered any of those other information, then it would pop up inside of here. And of course, if you want to remove stuff, you can go to the edit style here and just check out the column you want and just delete it. All right, just go ahead and delete stuff. Make sure you don't you don't delete stuff you need. All right, we're gonna hit OK. Let's do a window schedule now. Window schedule. We're gonna hit enter. We're gonna draw our table, scale it to 50. And then we're gonna add this guy in there. So now this one is a little bit more interesting because we have a variety and we have some duplicates. We have four of the same windows. We have 2 of this type of window and we have 1 of this type of window. And so if you notice, it itemizes every single window. What if we want to group them up though? What if we could have a column that says quantity 3, it would be 4 of these, 2 of these, and 1 of that. That's exactly what we're going to do by just going back to edit style and check this little box here that says include quantity column. We're going to hit OK. And now we have a column that says quantity, and then it kind of grouped them up to say, all right, we have 4 of this one. They are the same size. We have 2 of this one, the same size, and we have 1 of this window. So that's how you would go about doing that. And of course, I'm going to kind of put these side by side so that I can create my views. All right, now we're going to create some views. So go to view and we're going to say new. I'm going to call this floor plan. Create a window. You all know how to do this already, right? Yep, you should know from the previous episode. Just about that. I probably should have given it a little bit more space around it though. Let me give it some space at the bottom. Good. Okay, so we have a view there, and then we're going to do one for the schedule at the same scale. Okay, make sure that scale is 1/4. And we're going to call this, in fact, I probably should do them both separate. So I'm going to do door schedule pick. Our door schedule is going to be from that to that. Hit enter. And then I'm going to do another one, new window schedule. Enter. All right, so we have created 3 views here. And what will happen is that it will pop up underneath our floor plan drawing. We have door schedule, window schedule, and your floor plan right there. All right, so these are what we're going to be using on our sheets when we start to create sheets. One of the things I want to do last is to add the title to this drawing. So I'm going to go ahead and add a title with the circle. And if you notice, once you click on it, this box pops up, and then we can go ahead and draw our title right there. Title comes in with your name and your scale. Once you put it on a sheet, that will become populated. All right, guys. All right, so this is where we're going to stop with the floor plan. I believe we have enough information here to be submitted to the authorities for approval, especially for a small building like this. We really don't need anything more than this. But of course, if you're going to do something much larger, then you need to add additional details as necessary. But this is where I'm going to stop for this floor plan. And what we're going to do is to move over into the foundation plan, which will be the last thing we're going to do in this episode. All right, so let's go over to our views, go down to our foundation plan. And of course, this was where we left off with the foundation plan view. First thing we're going to do is to change our scale. Always remember that before you add any type of annotations to your drawing, set your scale. Then we're going to go ahead and bring in our grid lines. So let's go to our construct, right click, XREF overlay. All right, so we have our grid lines here looking beautiful. I am not going to be using these dimensions, so I need to freeze those guys. All right, there we go. And of course, what we're going to do is to add dimensions to the footing of the foundation. All right, we're not going to do the walls since we have already done them over here. So let's go ahead and create the dimension that you need. So of course we're going to be using exterior. We're going to click on this footing here, enter, drag it out, and click. Now if you notice, it's not yet configured, and this is one of the problems that we could actually solve by creating a template at the beginning of the project. When you load your template into the project, it has all the settings and everything preloaded so that when you start to add things like text and dimensions, everything will be there from day one. All right, but I'm going to do a video and show you how to create templates, so don't worry yourself. We're just using the default AutoCAD template on this drawing. All right, so let's go ahead and configure this dimension here. Go to edit style. I need about 2 chains. And of course, on the first chain, I only want to see wall overall and wall intersection. I don't want to see anything else. So get rid of everything else. And on chain 2, I only want to see the overall of the wall itself. Now we could actually go ahead and add a grid onto like a third chain and show the grids on there, like chain 3, and add grids. But for some reason it's not working properly for me, so I just usually add a different dimension string separate from this one to the grid lines. All right, so we're gonna hit OK, and something I didn't change, which would have been the distance here, which is 12 inches. All right, so it's gonna look something like this. I think that distance, I'm going to work with that distance because I do have another one to add above it for the grid lines themselves. So of course, we're going to go ahead and just click on this one and say add selected and do all the other walls, or rather footing. By the way, your footing is considered a wall object in AutoCAD for some reason. I don't know why. If you notice, when you went into the edit style dimension, we had to make changes to walls for it to be reflected out here. So AutoCAD is picking up your footing as a wall. All right, so that's why we did what we did there. Now, if you notice, for this small project, we practically have all the dimensions we need except for one particular wall, which would be this little wall in here. There's nothing telling us where this is located. So that would be the only thing that we need, really. So we would use an internal dimension, but instead of going in and editing, we're going to just do pick points, since it's just a small area. I'm going to pick these points that we need, enter, and we're going to drag it out. I'm going to place it right over the side. All right, so there we have for that wall is being located. I'm going to actually add an extra extension line to this point and hit enter, and I'm going to add it to this dimension line. All right, so that would be all the internal dimensions we need. There's another issue right here where this is not capturing the width of this wall or this footing here. So what I'm going to do again is to click on this guy and say add object and select this footing and hit enter, and there we have it being added into that string right there. So far so good. I think it's a little bit too close to the building though. Like I feel like I could breathe a little. It's just that the grid line is kind of short. I'm not sure if we're gonna have enough space left to add stuff, but we'll see. One of the things I am seeing here is that these dimensions stop on the grid line, which is on the center of the walls, and for some reason I am not able to get these dimensions to go to the edge of the wall. So that is something we would have to do manually. So what I would do is to go here and say I would say add extension line and pick the 2 points, hit enter, and we're going to add it to the first string, and we're going to do the same thing again, add it to the second one, and then remove these inner pieces. It looks like a lot of work, but it's definitely less work than using the regular dimension tool and trying to add them one by one, because right now I can move all of this at once. All right, so this is what I'll be doing for all the exterior dimensions. So I'm gonna kind of speed this up at this point. All right, so that's where I would stop with that. So we do have all the width of each footing right where it needs to be. Everything looking fine and dandy. Of course, if you had a larger building, you would have a lot more internal or interior dimensions. But since this is just so small, that's all we need there, because everything else can be found on the exterior dimensions. All right, what we need to bring in now are the room labels. All right, the name of each room. What we're gonna have to do, because we didn't provide space objects in the foundation drawing, we will have to XREF overlay the floor plan. Go back to our construct, go to our ground floor, XREF overlay, and we're gonna use these spaces to get the names of the room. So let's go to annotate, room tags, tag, select the space, and add the room names. All right. So now that we have the room name, what we will have to do is to freeze all layers on this external reference. All right. So if you go into your layer, or let me bring up my layer properties tab here, you will see that we have all of these right here, from this going all the way down to here. Can we do all of them at once? I think we can. All of these ground floor construct layers, we're gonna freeze them. All right, freeze them all. So we don't want to see them. All right, so that's how that should look. The last thing I'm going to add is some callouts for each type of column. I'm going to have a callout. So let's go back to annotate, and we're going to say callout. I'm using the circle one, and let's say I'm going to do this eye stiffener column. And I'm going to put a call out for this one about here, enter. And for these callouts, we're going to be using just callouts only, because we have created details in the last episode for these already. So we're just going to say callout only. Afterwards, when we add these to the sheets, we will have to fill in the fields here for this drawing. All right, so let's go ahead and add another one. Let's do the T stiffener. Let's do this one right here. F8. I use the F8 button to turn on and off the ortho mode, so that's the shortcut to do that. All right, so we have a T, we have an I, we need a L, so let's use this L over here. Just about there. Call out only, and the last one would be the square column. If you remember from the last episode, these were the 4 columns we did. Drop that right there. Call out only. And this one is kind of too close, so let me kind of see if I can move it down a little bit by dragging this. Yeah, kind of bend this. Yeah, all right. So this is what our foundation plan would look like. This should be enough information to get us through the gate. The only thing that's missing would be the dimensions for the grid lines. I'm going to use the interior dimension as well to get this, since I just need one chain. I'm going to pick points. I'm just wondering if I could add them to the top of this. It doesn't really matter where you add them, you know, it's just the fact that they need to be there. So I'm going to just add them out there. Again, pick points. Make sure you're picking the midpoint of the circle. Add it out there. And I don't think you need it on more than 2 sides, so I think that will do for the foundation plan. The last thing we're going to do is to create a view, which is what you do after every detail, after you do your detail, your floor plan. So we're going to create a new view, and we're going to call this the foundation plan, and we're going to say none. We're going to define our window. We want our window to be something about here. Always leave some space at the bottom for your title, and we're going to hit enter, and everything looks good. We hit OK. Then we're going to go back to annotate, and we're going to say title with the bubble on it. We're going to add a title right here. So that would be the title for the foundation plan. I notice that the scale is left off. I'm not sure why, but I'm not even going to worry about that right now. So everything looks good, and that would be it for the foundation plan. All right, so that is where we're going to stop for this episode. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the like button, and share this video if you think you got something valuable out of it. Why me a twang? All right, everybody, that's it for this video today. Thank you for joining. I hope that you learned something. And if you did, you know what to do already. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already too. And definitely hit the share button and tell a friend for tell another friend. Big up to my patrons over on my Patreon page. If you didn't know, now you know. The links are in the description. I do have some stuff over there you can check out, download, get access to stuff that I do not share on this page. All right, so thank you again for watching. See you guys in the next video. What am I saying?